Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sauna IE. I'm your host, XO. Happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. On today's episode, we will be discussing 5 keys of financial literacy. If this is your first time listening to Sauna IE, welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to tune in to listen to Sauna IE. Sauna IE is a podcast about mental health and really helping us advance our mental health on a daily basis. So every episode I try to educate people in different avenues when it comes to mental health. In April, we usually do our financial literacy month and have financial literacy topics. Monday, not Monday, but in March, we go in depth with our March for Mental Health and really discuss different aspects when it comes to mental health. So if this is your first time listening, I just want to thank you for taking your time out your day, tuning in. Hopefully this episode educates you a little bit more when it comes to financial literacy. But what I like to do is I like to kick off my show with some quotes of the day. My first quote is, if you don't get out of the box you've been raised in, you won't understand how much bigger the world is. And this goes to if you've been in the same city your whole life and haven't really traveled outside of your city, outside of your state, or even just taking that leap of faith and moving to a new state or new city or new country or something of that nature. It's like the world is bigger than your neighborhood. The world is bigger than your city. The world is bigger than your state. Don't get so trapped or caught up in living in the current state you're in. If you haven't lived or traveled or moved or been somewhere outside of the state, take that risk, take that leap, go travel, go see the world. Don't really I'll go later, or I'll go a year from now or 2 years from now. No. If you have the money to travel or have the money to go see other places, take a road trip somewhere, go see the world and explore the world. Don't just be thinking that you have to be caged up in in your city or in your state, because the world is very big. I love traveling myself, and I love seeing and exploring new places. Matter of fact, I'm going somewhere for my birthday that is going to be real dope, but I'm going to do an episode out there for it. But yeah, man, if you've been really contemplating, should I travel? Oh, I don't have the funds to travel, or however it is. Well, first things first, save up to get the funds to travel, as well as travel. Even if it's just going to freaking wherever you're from, just a different state, just have the opportunity to travel, have the opportunity to explore, meet new people, see different cultures, and really explore the world. But once again, that quote is, if you don't get out of the box you've been raised in, you won't understand how much bigger the world is. Number 2, loyalty is everything, but everything isn't loyal. It's like if you're loyal yourself, loyalty is a high value when it comes to life. And me personally, I value loyalty, and now through life I've known that everything or everyone isn't loyal at the end of the time. So it's it doesn't have to come to that person isn't loyal, I shouldn't be loyal. It's at the end of the day, you got to keep the values that you hold within yourself. If you're a loyal person, always be a loyal person through thick and thin. Don't change up, don't switch up or anything. But you'll meet, and I'm pretty sure we've all encountered throughout our lives, we've met or somebody that's been loyal that became unloyal and things like that. And it just teaches you that loyalty is everything, but everything isn't loyal. And that's a great quote when it comes to loyalty and discussing loyalty. But I'm gonna give y'all a brief break, and then we're gonna kick off the show with 5 keys of financial literacy. Thank y'all for tuning in to Sauna IE. I bet you're wondering, what are the 5 keys of financial literacy? According to the Financial Literacy and Education Commission, there are 5 key components of financial literacy: earn, spend, save and invest, borrow, and protect. We're going to kick this segment off with the first one, which is earn. Before you can start spending, saving, and investing, you need to know how much money you make. If you make the same amount each month, then this is pretty easy. take a look at your paycheck and identify your gross and net income, and note any other deductions such as employer-sponsored health insurance or a retirement plan. If you don't know what gross income is your pre-tax income, or the total amount that you are paid before taxes and deductions have been taken out. Then your net income, also known as take-home pay, is a smaller number. Your net income is the same amount of money you make after taxes and deductions have been taken out. Most employees receive their net pay in a paycheck that has taxes deducted from it, while most self-employed people receive gross pay from clients and then must deduct and pay themselves taxes. If you're one of the 32% of Americans whose income varies from month to month, calculating your income can be a little more difficult, but it's still important. Once you've determined your monthly net income, you're ready to spend responsibly with a personal budget. So earn. If you don't know how much you make, if you're a salaried employee, you can check on your paycheck on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, or however you get paid, and really check out your net income for the week as well as for the month. See what you get for that month and see what you're earning, and then that leads the way to learning, like, okay, this is what I make a month. Now let me see what my personal budget is on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, or monthly basis, as well as adding in different things. And that is a segue to the second key, which is spend. Creating a personal budget. A personal budget is just a plan for how much you want to spend, but it also can be a useful tool for achieving your financial goals. To create a monthly personal budget, you need to track your spending over the course of 1 month, then break everything down into categories. The most popular budgeting rule, which I'll be discussing on the next episode, is the 50-30-20 rule, or specific for those who just want to get in the nitty-gritty of their spending habits. The 50-30-20 rule is a budgeting plan that recommends allocating 50% of your net income on basic needs, leaving 30% to spend on non-essentials and 20% for savings. This budget doesn't work for everyone, but it's a great rule of thumb for anyone who's new to budgeting. So creating a personal budget, and we're going to take a deeper dive into this on the next episode, but really creating that personal budget for yourself. Does the 50-30-20 rule work for you, where you can put 50% into your needs, 30% into your spending on non-essentials, and 20% into savings? If that doesn't work for you, I'm going to discuss later in the show another budget rule that you can probably go by. But number 3, save. Determining your financial goals. Everyone knows it's important to save money, but it's hard to spend less than you earn without specific financial goals to work towards. Your financial goals will depend on your unique situation, but they should include saving for an emergency fund or even planning for retirement. The earlier you start saving for retirement, the better. Most financial planners suggest setting aside at least 10% of your take-home pay each month for retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or even both. Myself, I have an IRA, and I will be talking about retirement plans in the next 2 episodes, so be on the lookout for that one if you really want to know more about retirement, as well as sharing this with the people, the older generation, when it comes to retirement too, because it's still never too late to save or really invest into your retirement. Another one is saving for a big purchase. Are you planning on buying a car this year? What about a home? What about paying for school or getting to graduate school? If that's the case, the sooner you start saving, the less you'll have to put aside each month. And I think we learned that late. It's like, yeah, we save, but really doing that math on, okay, how much is it going to cost to buy this car? How much is it going to cost to put a down payment on this home? How much is it going to cost to pay for graduate school or college or something of that nature? And really breaking down the math and do it to where you're saving on a daily, where it's like, oh, I got to save $10,000 to put a down payment on a house in the next 6 months. But if you break that down by what you have to save daily or each month, it's less of a hassle, less of a scare on you, less of a hurdle that you have to jump. So do that math when it comes to saving for a big purchase too, because that is a key. What about paying off any personal debts? Most people have some kind of debt, whether it's student loans, credit card debt, or even both. Check your interest rates on your loans. Paying off loans on time or ahead of schedule can save you thousands of dollars in interest. Check the interest rates on your loans as well as on your credit cards, because the credit cards, some have high interest rates on their credit cards, but we're going to do that. We're going to discuss that as we enter this next key: borrow. Credit cards, loans, and credit score. Even if you're a diligent saver, at some point you must borrow some money to cover a large expense like a home or a car. Maybe you borrow money as a college student and currently dealing with student loans or credit card debt. Borrowing isn't necessarily a bad thing as long as you know how to compare loans and maintain a healthy credit score. Excuse me. APR, annual percentage rate, is a key to comparing loans and credit cards. APR takes into account both the interest rate and fees to give you a more accurate idea of how much interest you'll pay each year. A low APR means you'll pay less interest over time, but how do you get one? In general, the higher the credit score you have, the less interest you'll be charged. That means if you have had financial difficulties in the past, you can get stuck into a vicious cycle where all of your money goes to paying off interest. That's why building healthy credit is one of the most important steps to building financial literacy. Keeping a balance on your credit card is one of the easiest ways to rack up debts, but choosing the right credit card and using it responsibly can actually help you improve your credit score. And also, I'm going to have one of my friends who has a credit business. He's going to come on and talk about credit, different credits, personal credit, business credit. And if you have any questions, hit me up on the website, Sanai, or even get on the email me and let me know any questions that you have that you want me to ask him when it comes to different credit questions, different areas of credit. 5, the final key: protect. Preventing fraud and buying insurance. Once you've set yourself up with a solid budget and investment strategy, it's important to protect the money that you made. This means regularly reviewing your bank accounts and credit card statements for mistakes and suspicious activity. Keeping documents and passwords secure to prevent scams and identity theft. And buying the right kind of insurance is to protect yourself in an event of an emergency. So protect, preventing fraud, and buying life insurance, any type of insurance that you need for yourself. But really, checking over your bank statements, credit card statements on a monthly basis, and making sure there's no suspicious activity, as well as keeping track of your documents and passwords, and really just being aware of what you're spending and where you're spending your money at, and really having that accountability factor when it comes to spending. So those are the 5 keys: protect, borrow, save, spend, and earn. So I bet you're like, okay, I learned the 5 keys. How do I assess myself and see if I am financially literate? Well, let me ask you these 5 questions. And you can ask them to yourself. You can write them down and send them to a friend. Ask a friend too, or ask anybody in your family, and just to know if the people around me, are they financial literate as well, or do we all need to help each other, pick each other up, and educate each other when it comes to financial literacy? My first question is, do you know how to create a personal budget? I gave a brief definition of what a budget is. I think we all know what a budget is, but a personal budget that fits your lifestyle. Maybe the 50-30-20 rule doesn't work for you. Maybe a different rule may apply for your life depending on your financial situation. So if you know how to create a personal budget, you're one step towards learning financial literacy. Number 2, do you have an emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of basic living expenses? You're probably thinking, nah, but I got 1 month covered. That's a start too. It's where you start to get to where you're trying to finish. So don't overwhelm yourself. If you're starting on your emergency fund, if you have an emergency fund, shout out to you. If you have a personal budget, shout out to you as well. And really just Help the people around you too. If you know how to budget, if you know how to set up an emergency fund, or you've been saving and things like that, help the people around you grow when it comes to financial literacy. Number 3, do you have a plan for retirement? I know we love to live in the now, but there is a future. Do you have that plan, a retirement plan? Do you have a 401k? Do you have a pension, or do you have an IRA? Things like that. What is your plan when it comes to retirement? And really ask yourself. Sometimes you might have to sit down with yourself like, what is my plan? And sometimes plans go unplanned. So plan for the plan not working out as well. But still have that plan. Number 4, if you have debt, what is your plan to pay it off? Are you like, oh, I'm taking 10% out each check and paying Sally Mae, so that's happening, but why not try to put more towards that debt and paying that off sooner instead of paying it off monthly, if that makes sense. And number 5, do you know your credit score and how to improve it? If you don't, go to annualcreditreport.com, check your credit score. Like, all right, this is my credit score, and how can I improve it? And I'm gonna ask this question when I have my guy Dash on with the credit business, just to discuss credit scores, but ways to improve our credit scores as well. But yeah, ask yourself these questions. Ask the people around you these questions. Do you know how to create a personal budget? Do you have an emergency fund that covers 3 months of expenses? Do you have a plan for retirement? If you have debt, what is your plan to pay it off? Do you know your credit score and how to improve it? But I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a brief break, and I'm gonna hit y'all with the recap of today's episode. Thank y'all for tuning in to Sana IE. And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning to today's episode of Sana IE. Let's hit you with the recap. First, we kicked off the show with our quotes of the day. If you don't get out of the box you've been raised in, you won't understand how much bigger the world is. Plan a trip somewhere. Within these next 2 to 3 months, well, summer's coming around the corner. Plan a trip somewhere. Go somewhere. Go see the world. Go somewhere that you've always wanted to go. Even if you have to go by yourself, take that trip. You'll be extremely grateful for it. And it will open your eyes. It will open your eyes to the opportunities that you can present yourself with, and you can do that. It'll really open your eyes and really have everybody else feeling like they'll need to take a trip too that's around you. But even if you have to go by yourself, go see the world, go travel, go take a road trip, go somewhere, see a culture, talk to people, adapt with people, eat the new food, get outside of your box. Number 2, loyalty isn't everything, but everything isn't loyal. If you've been loyal all your life and you begin meeting disloyalty and unloyalty, don't let it get to you. You got this. Stay focused, stay passionate, and know that, I'm going to be loyal regardless of what happens. And then we kicked off our first segment with the 5 keys to financial literacy, which is earn, spend, save, and invest, borrow, and protect. And we started with the first one, which is earn. Know how much you're spending. Know your gross income. Know your net income. If you're self-employed, know that as well. You'll have to get probably an accountant to really figure out your numbers, or you can figure them out yourself. But know what you make a month and really create that personal budget for yourself when it comes to spending. Create a personal budget. If it's the 50-30-20 rule, create a budget that works for you, works for your lifestyle, that you'll hold yourself accountable to. And even if you won't or can't hold yourself accountable, have somebody else that'll hold you accountable, or look into apps. There's several apps that'll help you when it comes to budgeting. I know one app, EveryDollar, will help you when it comes to budgeting, as well as the Digit app. I always talk about Digit. I'm gonna get them to sponsor this show, but the Digit app is perfect when it comes to creating a personal budget, having financial goals, and it helps you out to where it doesn't take, where you don't have to stress yourself out figuring out, how much do I have to budget this month, or how much do I have to save this month. You can just put the numbers in and then it'll do the work for you. So Create a personal budget for yourself. And that helps with number 3, the third key too, determining your financial goals, whether it's saving for an emergency fund, planning for retirement, saving for a big purchase, or paying off personal debts. Digit app helps perfect for these. So it takes the stress of you trying to figure all these out on your own. All you got to do is put the number out there or in there that you owe or that you want to save or that's your financial goal. And Digit will do all the math for you. So check out the app Digit when it comes to saving and creating a personal budget. And number 4, borrow. Credit cards, loans, and credit score. Know your credit score. Know your APR when it comes to these credit cards. Always try to keep that low APR. If you're like, yo, I got a bad credit score, but you're trying to raise it and get it up, then I'm gonna have my guests really educate us when it comes to credit scores, when it comes to credit cards, when it comes to credit overall. So be on the lookout for that show. It'll be dropping at the end of the month. But know your APR, know your interest rates. Don't just take out a loan just because. Do your math, do your research, and see what works out best for you when it comes to these credit cards and everything. Protect yourself. The 5th key, preventing fraud and buying insurance, as well as asking yourself these questions or asking the people around you these questions so you can really assess their financial literacy, so everybody can grow together. It's like we have to help each other grow. We can't just be like, oh, I gotta win, or be so self-centered and focus on yourself. We gotta help others out when it comes to financial literacy, when it comes to mental health. But ask these questions. Do you know how to create a personal budget? Do you have an emergency fund that covers at least 3 to 6 months of basic living expenses? Do you have a plan for retirement? If you have debt, how do you plan to pay it off? And number 5, do you know your credit score and how to improve it? But I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out your day to really coming on the show. Where we at right now, this show was impossible without you. So thank you for everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If you feel like I did my job educating you today, leave a review. Share this with somebody who you think it'll help. And if I didn't do my job, let me know how I can improve. I can greatly appreciate it. You can leave a review. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, you can leave a review on there. Or if not, you can click the link in the show notes of this episode and it'll take you to the website. And you can leave a review on the website. And I read the reviews out every other show. But if you haven't already, go ahead and hit subscribe. The next show is going to be discussing the 50-30-20 rule of budgeting and different other budgeting rules that can apply to your life if you don't like that rule in itself, as well as you'll be notified when we drop new shows if you're subscribed to the show. Appreciate y'all. Check out the website, sanai.com. It'll be in the show notes. And if you have any type of social media, follow us on social media at Sanai. Greatly appreciate y'all. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. Karma has no menu. You get served what you deserve. Have a great week.